Hello my beautiful friends, we are kicking off another cozy fall vlog, and this one we are going full fall, but today we are going to be playing another round of my Scooby Doo bingo. And then my patrons have voted on a pick for me as well, so that's 5 books. But because I'm feeling very ambitious and I just got back from the Ashland Mystery Festival and I'm in the mood to read and I'm a little bit sad right now because I miss it so much, I'm also going to add on 2 more challenges for myself. My lovely friend Maddie from This Bookish Cottage, I'll link her channel below, I just adore her, makes these like book scratchers. And she made me one specifically with like prompts for me, and then she also sent this like fall one as part of her membership. So I'm gonna scratch one from each of these. Okay, so for those of you that are new to this, I, in my recent reading vlogs for the last few months, have picked a Scooby Doo bingo board, and then we draw cards until I make my first bingo, and then I have prompts written on the cards. So we go back and we pick out the cards that fit the bingo, and then we pick books based on those prompts. So that's kind of the general premise. I'm a big Scooby Doo fan, as you might have inferred from that. But let's pick something fun. I'm feeling like an orange or purple board because we are about a week and a half from Halloween. Yeah, just about a week and a half from Halloween, so let's see what we can find. You know what, I'm feeling this one. It's got like a bat, it's got a ghost, lots of fun mummies. Let's go ahead and do this one. Okay, let's go ahead and start picking. What do we have here? We have, nope, we don't have him. Oh, we do have this mummy. And that says a book that starts with a random letter use generator. Oh boy, that could be really fun. And I did accidentally flip this, so let's go ahead and take this. A book in a series. That one would be very easy for me with the cozy mysteries that I love. So let's hope for that. No sandwich. No pirates. No pirates. We do not have a Fred or a Daphne. Let's get some from over here. Flashlight we have, so that's historical fiction. I'm not really feeling historical fiction, but we'll see. Let's see what we get. Oh, we have this one. We have a genre I don't usually read. Oh boy, okay. Man, I'm really feeling mysteries and thrillers, and that goes with the fall vibes, so I'm kind of hoping for that. But we'll see what we get here. No, we don't have them. Okay, let's see. How about hot dog? We have a hot dog. A book that ends with an odd number of pages. Okay, so we actually are 1 away from a bingo here if we get another mummy. A ghost and a 400 plus page book. Oh, goodness. Okay. I feel like some of these are rough. We don't have this zombie. We have a different zombie, but not him. Let's see what we got here. A bat. The book you keep putting off. Oh, I really hope I don't get this row. So all I need is a snow ghost for that one, and there are some brutal prompts in that. That could be real tough. Okay, no fingerprint. We do have a laughing Scooby, which is dog on the cover. That would be easy. Okay, we have 4 different ways we could get bingo. This is intense. We have the tiki guy here. We have the snow ghost, the mummy, and then we have a horizontal, or not a horizontal, a diagonal bingo if we get the pizza slice. Okay, what are we gonna get? Nope. Snow ghost. Oh no. Oh, okay, this could be bad. Let me see what we got for that. Oh, this could be bad. Okay, so we have a book that starts with a random letter generator, so that could be very easy or very difficult depending on the letter. We have a genre I don't usually read. So basically anything that's not a mystery or thriller, because I pretty much, that's what I read. A book you keep putting off. Awesome. And then a scary book. Okay, that one's not too bad, especially for Halloween. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and scratch off our options, and I'm also gonna reveal the Patreon, our Cozy Haven pick. They got to vote between 4 different books for this card that I randomly drew a couple days in advance. That's a bookish theme one, which is always a really lovely prompt to get as someone who reads cozy mysteries, and they voted on The Plot in the Pendulum by Jen McKinley, which is part of the Library Lovers mystery series, and it's Halloween themed, so amazing job. I'm so excited to read that. So that's one of our books. See, I just want to scratch them all, and I can't do that to myself because we're 7 books, Amy. 7 books here. Come on. I like this one. Let's do this one. Okay, this one isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. It says has the in the title. Okay, that, thank you, Maddie. That one is a kinder prompt than some of these other ones that I drew. And let's see, Hello Autumn. I'm thinking some of these might be fall themed perhaps, but I'm feeling this one. So wish me luck. Oh, most anticipated. Oh, thank you, Maddie. These are kind. Okay, that'll help. That's gonna help. All right, let's go ahead and pick out our other 6 books since we have one picked out here. Here we go, guys. Kind of TBR shelf along with my TBR cart over here. It gets complicated, but I know I would really like to read The Jasmine Moon Murder, so that would work for the prompt, possibly. So I don't know, we're gonna put that there as a possibility. This one is gonna be our scary book prompt. This was from last month's book of the month, Sleep Tight, and this is actually a thriller bordering on horror, which I am scared to death of reading, even though I've heard it's really good. So that's gonna be the scary book prompt. What am I putting off? I'm gonna say this one. I don't know what time of year this takes place in, but this has been on my TBR for a while. Like at least 2 months it's been on the shelf, and I just haven't got to it, even though I want to read it. It's The Double Mocha Blues by Tiora Moody, a Joss Miller mystery. It's a barista / true crime podcaster, and it's the first in the series, and I have heard nothing about this series. And there are 3 out now, and the covers are adorable, and it sounds like so much fun. So I'm gonna put that as the book I keep putting off, not because of anything against this book, I just have a lot of books and it keeps sitting there. Okay, I've also pulled up the random letter generator because I should probably strategize a little bit here. So let's go ahead and hit H. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's gonna be rough. I just feel like that's gonna be rough. Okay, H it is. We will, we're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be fine. We'll figure it out. I honestly thought I was gonna have to go with something that said A or the and then an H word because that's how bad it was getting. But I found it, guys. I found How to Wash a Cat. I have no idea what time of year this takes place, but it's the first book in like an antique mystery series. So I'm really excited for that. We have the bookish theme, the plot, and the pendulum. A genre I don't usually read. I selected this one. It's a cozy fantasy, and I've only read a couple cozy fantasies ever. So I feel like that's a fair one. We went over the book you keep putting off, scary book. I mean, this cover alone, terrifying. And then it has the in the title. We're doing The Jasmine Moon Murder by Laura Child. This is a tea shop mystery series. I think it's book 5. It takes place during like October or Halloween. There's like a cemetery grave crawl, like a walk through the cemetery, which sounds really creepy. And then this one is most anticipated. I've heard so many good things about The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. And it's on my fall TBR, so bonus points. And this is going to be our lineup. I'm hoping to just fly through these this week. Hi guys, I have a reading update for you. So we're kicking off this vlog with a bang. I read in almost one sitting last night, The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. I loved this. I really loved this. I've heard mixed things about this. For some people it's like kind of a love or hate ending. I really liked it. I had so much fun with this. So the basic premise for this is we have our main character, Anna Fox, and she is a psychologist, and she's kind of taking some time off right now because she's struggling with agoraphobia, which is basically the fear of like open spaces, and so she's confined herself to her home as like her safe space. She doesn't really leave the house, but she watches people like her neighbors through the window, so she knows a lot about their lives even though they don't know much about her life. And she of course witnesses things, thrills start to happen. There were some pretty good twists with this. One of them I did predict pretty early on, but a different one completely got me off guard, and I stayed up like an extra 40 minutes to finish this last night. So that to me gives it a good rating. I'm gonna say 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. What I plan on starting tonight is Double Mocha Blues by Tiora Moody. I am so excited for this. So our main character is Joss Miller. She's a barista and a true crime podcaster. She wants to do a special tribute to her grandfather. I'm guessing maybe there's some kind of true crime committed against him. And her family gives her her blessing because her true crime podcast has really soared in popularity. But someone doesn't like this. A murder happens and Joss might be a suspect in the case. I like that she's a barista. I like that she's a true crime podcaster. I think both of those are fun elements. And I've never read anything by this author, so I'm really excited. That's what I'm planning on starting tonight. During the day tomorrow, I want to start Sleep Tight. but I'm definitely too chicken to read this anywhere near bedtime. So this will be a daytime exclusive read, but this is what we're reading tonight. And we're also gonna go make some dinner and Halloween cards. I need to fill those out and get those in the mail badly. I'm really behind on that with the Ashland trip. I usually have those in the mail much earlier, but that is okay. We have some cozy fun things we're gonna do tonight. Some food, some reading. We're just gonna chill and have a good night. So let's go. Hi friends, it's the next day. I didn't quite finish everything on my Tuesday night list, so we're gonna have a cozy, comfy afternoon. I did some work this morning, I took a nap. I'm the type of person who I get back from a big trip or like a big stressful thing happens, and then I kind of expect myself to like instantly like snap back into a routine, and that's just not realistic, at least not for me. And the fact that I'm a human, you know? So I'm taking the rest of this day off. I might do a little work this evening, but for the most part, we're chilling. I edited my Ashland, Oregon vlog last night. I got that up, so I'll link that above if you didn't check it out. It's really fun, at least I'm very proud of it. But reading update, I'm about 100 pages in to Double Mocha Blues by Tiara Moody. I'm loving this. I love Joss. I think she's an excellent character. This is a very family-driven, family-centric mystery series. There is a lot of subplots with her family, and it is mentioned in the summary that her grandfather died many years ago, and she's talking about that on her true crime podcast, which kind of sparks some controversy between her and the victim. And I do want to mention, because I know some people want a very, very lighthearted cozy mystery, this one's a little bit on the heavier side because the crime against her grandfather was a hate crime. So I just want to give that as a heads up in case you're looking for something very lighthearted. This would be a little bit of a heavier topic, and I am really enjoying seeing Joss as a character. The coffee scenes have been really cozy and nice. I'm enjoying learning about her family and how this crime against her grandfather has affected the entire family because so many people reacted in different ways or even like split off from the family. It's very interesting to see the dynamics. I haven't thought about that, and this was a very interesting approach. And some of the chapters are short, like podcast formats, where you're kind of reading, you know, it's like back and forth between two people, like a podcast, like an interview. And that's kind of interesting because I don't see a lot of cozy mysteries that have like a mixed media style to them, so I'm really enjoying that. I like Joss as a character. I love the other employees at the coffee shop. Is super supportive, both of her and also of artisans in the area. They have like a lot of local artist events at the coffee shop, which I think is amazing, and I think that gets more involved in the second book. I think there's some kind of crime with an artist that gets involved with that more, so I'm really curious to see how this goes. I'm not sure where it's going, but I'm really curious. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time reading this. I like Joss. I like the setting with the coffee shop. I like her family. There are so many delicious food scenes because a lot of the people in her family enjoy cooking, so she'll go over to their house and then they're eating this scrumptious food that just sounds so good. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. We're gonna have a cozy day. Like I said, I really just need to relax. I really try to dive in back to work and everything like as hard as possible Monday and Tuesday after coming back from Ashland, and my body today was just like, you know what? I'm gonna force you to take a nap basically, and we're gonna take a little bit of a day. So I'm gonna do some coloring. I think I'm going to do those Halloween cards. We are going to do a little bit of baking later, and I have this fun chocolate pudding like Halloween dessert with like gummy worms that we're gonna make. It looks really fun. It's kind of like goofy and like probably best suited for like kids. I don't have kids, but I'm gonna enjoy it. So here we go. And I'm here to report I've read a little bit more of Double Mocha Blues, really enjoying it. It's going very well. I'm still very intrigued about the mystery. But it is dinner time, I'm getting hungry, and an omelet sounds killer right now. It sounds so incredibly good. And I'm happy to report that my cozy afternoon has actually led to this big burst in productivity now because I feel better mentally because I rested. So mostly this is my 2 cents to remind myself, but if you need this as well, rest is good for you, breaks are good for you, you'll probably be far more effective at whatever it is if you give yourself a little bit of break. So just my 2 cents for the day. Let's get an omelet going. Biggest reading update. I have reading updates on 3 books, one of which I've given you previous updates on and 2 that I haven't done any updates on. So let's just hop into it. We'll start with Double Mocha Blues by Tiora Moody, the first in the Joss Miller mystery series, because that's the one I gave you an update on kind of halfway through. I really liked it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on some makeup while we chat. I already put on some eyeshadow primer, a little bit of white eyeliner, and this here, got my moisturizer applied, but we're gonna start with some eyeshadow. Double Mocha Blues. As I kind of previously mentioned, it's definitely a little bit more of a hard-hitting cozy mystery because the crime against her grandfather is racially motivated, so keep that in mind. It's definitely a harder hitting topic than some cozy mysteries go into, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, I really loved this mystery. I found it to be super engaging. I think Joss is a really great character. I think the setting at the place that she works at, the coffee, like the cafe, I think is so interesting. There's a lot of interesting characters who come in and really are like regulars, so it gives you that sense of community, which is really nice. I love the fact that the main character's boss, Faye, she runs the coffee shop and like cafe, and she is a big supporter of the arts. So they have like these music nights and all these different events, which are lovely. And I particularly like the podcast format. I think I showed you a little bit. So as you can see here, like there's a breakdown that's like, the way it's formatted is like a podcast, like you're reading the transcript, which I think is really fun because there's not a lot of mixed media cozy mysteries, at least none that I've read. Let me know if you've read any. I thought the mystery was really engaging. I did figure out the like who behind everything, but had part of the motive wrong, and it was really interesting to see it come to fruition. I thought the ending was very suspenseful and delivered everything I was looking for and more. And I just had a really fun time with the mystery. I would definitely be interested in picking up the next book in this series. I believe there's 3 out currently. And I did find something interesting in the back, like the author's notes. This character, Joss Miller, is actually a character from a previous cozy mystery series that this author's written called the Eugenia Patterson mystery series. I guess Joss is introduced in book 2, and there are some mentions of Eugenia throughout the mystery, which is fun. She didn't play like a substantial part But I thought that was fun. I haven't personally read the Eugenia Patterson mystery series. Let me know if you have, but I'm curious about it now and would definitely want to look into that now that I've read something from Tiora Moody and really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading more from her. Next, I picked this up last night and I read it late afternoon as kind of a break from work because I didn't want to read it at night because it looks very scary. This is intense. I actually finished this morning. I didn't read it before bed which was a good idea, because it is very gripping and very scary, and definitely more on the horror side of thrillers. It definitely is the most intense, dark, scary type of thriller I think I've ever read. In fact, in a recent video, someone had asked me for my 4,000 subscriber Q&A, which I'll link above if you didn't see it, someone had asked me if I've ever had to put down a thriller because it was too scary. And this was the first time that I came close. So that's to give you an idea. Now, to be fair, I don't read horror, so if you are someone who regularly reads horror or you don't mind very dark thrillers, I think you'd be fine because I did make it through. So the premise for this is we have this serial killer named Father Silence who was arrested after he was found in this home, this very big creepy home here on the cover, and there were all these bodies. There was, you know, he had killed a bunch of people, and he is arrested, but after being arrested he doesn't speak at all. Then we have our main character Tessa, who is now a detective, and her father actually worked the case. He was also a detective and was one of the people that arrested Father Silence. So modern day happens, Father Silence is actually facing his execution for his crimes, and a lot of things start to get stirred up with Tessa emotionally. There's a lot going on in her personal life as well, and then her daughter is kidnapped, and that's kind of our premise. So for starters, if reading about anything like crimes involving children is something that you don't want to read, I would skip out on this. This one's definitely really intense. I was on the edge of my seat, and I just felt like there were multiple instances where I almost, like, I had to kind of put the book down and just like take a deep breath because it was so intense. But I will say this, the author's pacing was excellent. You're reading from a lot of different points of views. Your main point of view is Tessa, the detective, and mom, but you're also reading sometimes from her husband Justin, you're reading from some of the other cops or detectives on the case, you're sometimes reading from the perpetrator's point of view. It's really engaging. So while this is definitely very like a horror thriller, I would say, if you are looking for a super intense, very dark, very fast-paced, and very character-driven, I was actually surprised and really pleasantly surprised, because sometimes thrillers that go more into the crime side of things don't have that character connection, but I was actually really rooting for Tessa and really connected to her and her struggles. So I liked that aspect a lot. So my final thoughts on that is like a 4.5, 5-star thriller for me. I absolutely would not want to read a thriller that intense on a regular basis because, like I said, it was pushing the envelope for me and what I can personally handle. However, I'm glad that I made it through and didn't let the cover scare me off because it was such a fascinating read. There were so many twists and turns. I didn't see parts of the ending coming, other things I caught, but it just was wow. Like, it's one of those books, when I finished it, I had to kind of just sit there for a few minutes and kind of absorb everything that had happened. So that's what I would recommend. If you're a little nervous about it, do not read this at night. Unless you are like a hardcore, you can watch horror movies before bed kind of person, don't read this before night. I would not recommend it. I only read it in the afternoon and then this morning when I woke up because I was really wanting to read it before bed last night because it was so engaging, but I fortunately held off, had the self-control to wait until this morning. And then on a cozier side, because I definitely need cozy reads after that, I started the Cozy Fantasy, and I am on page 102. There's like 330 pages, so I'm almost a third of the way into this. This is so cute and fun, and it is so cozy. I mean, the main character, we have two main characters, right? We have, let me get their names, Reina and Chiante. So Reina is a palace guard, and she protects this queen who is very widely disliked because she's a terrible person that you'll get into more details, but she's not a good person. And she has stopped, in the first chapter, she stops like an assassin. It's very dramatic. So there is a bit of violence. I didn't find it to be overly gruesome or anything. There is also a bit of cursing, so keep that in mind. I don't know what cozy fantasy, I know with cozy mysteries cursing is done generally not supposed to be in the genre, but I'm not sure if that's the same for cozy fantasy, but I just wanted to mention that depending on preference. But Chianthe is this like really powerful mage in the area. She's got a lot of like, she's got this really interesting elemental magic that I find fascinating. And then you're going back and forth between reading their different points of views throughout the story, and they want to escape and basically commit treason by fleeing the queendom, I think it is called, where Reina works as the guard. And that's like in her blood, it's in her family, like her mom and dad were guards, like it's like a kind of a, it's an obligation, it's not a choice. So leaving is an act of treason. So they flee to this really kind of isolated town, and they're super interested in starting a bookshop and tea shop, which I love. All the details about the books and the tea, I am all there for. And they are a couple, and they are just, they're so cute together. I love it. They're cozy. It's such a fun, cozy read. If you enjoyed Legends and Lattes, this really gives me similar vibes. Very much like finding a community and building something of your own, and just the cozy setting and the, you know, the bit of the fantasy. This one's a little more plot driven, I would say, than Legends of Lattes so far. Like there's a little bit more of a plot, a little bit more action, but it's still very much a cozy fantasy, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a very nice break after Sleep Tight and Double Mocha Blues. In terms of my next cozy mystery, I'm thinking I want to start the Jasmine Moon Murder, because this one takes place on like at a graveyard with like a cemetery crawl, which sounds really fun and like very thematic for this time of year. I'm thinking it takes place during October. It's a ghost crawl. It doesn't specifically mention Halloween, but it just looks like a Halloween or October cozy mystery to me, so I really want to read that next. All right, and that is our final look, minus the lipstick, which I'm gonna go ahead and stick on. Okay, that is our final look. I like how it turned out. I actually feel like this matches my nails very, very, very well. But that is the final look for this. So that is our reading updates. I hope you guys have been enjoying. But I've been having the best time cooking recently. I think it's because I did so little cooking throughout most of October with all of the travel, and we were like pet sitting, and just we were on the go in October with the Ashland Mystery Festival and everything. So it's so nice to be back at home, and just I'm like cooking like crazy. And the whole wheat bread turned out so well. I had it with a little bit of butter before bed last night. Super good. I think I prefer the white bread version just slightly, because it tastes a little bit more, it isn't sourdough, but it tastes a little more sourdoughy. But this is definitely a nice whole wheat bread, and I really like peanut butter on whole wheat bread specifically, like sandwiches or toast, so I'm super excited to try it with that. Okay, and that is my update. So we are down 3 books. We did the Woman in the Window, Double Mocha Blues, Sleep Tight, and then Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. I'm hoping to probably finish like tomorrow. It is Friday right now, so I'm going into the weekend, and I'm doing a readathon with my patrons, so we are doing quite a bit of reading, and I'm super excited. So I might be spending some time reading this. I have some other books planned. It's just gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fun. And I would also really like to start The Plot in the Pendulum very soon, because this is a Halloween October cozy as well. So those are my 2 priorities to start next. These 2, and I love both of these series, so I'm anticipating strong reads, because so far we've had an excellent vlog. I've actually loved both thrillers I read, which has been not the usual trend over the last few months. I've been having a very hit or miss time with thrillers, so it's nice to find some that I really do enjoy. And then this is a new author to me, so I was going into this not knowing how I would like it, but I really enjoyed it. Love the true crime podcast element. I'm super excited to see. I think in book 2 it gets more into the artistic community, and I think some kind of crime happens there, so I think that'll be very interesting. And then this one, again, is outside of my normal genres. I probably read like 1 or 2 fantasy books a year. It's not a common genre for me at all. So this has just been a nice change, and there's dragons and griffins, and just the elemental mage magic is super interesting, and I'm really excited. So this vlog I've been having a great time with. I hope you are too, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you an update real soon. I just received a package, guys, and it's from the author of the Nightmare Arizona Paranormal Cozy Mystery series. So they're like 3 kind of packages kind of tied together. So I accidentally opened this one trying to get the tape off. So this is the 2nd book in the series. I was recommending this in my fall recommendations cozy recommendations video, and also talked about it in my reading wrap up last month. So I'll link those above, but basically this is like a ghost town paranormal cozy mystery that takes place in this fictional town of Nightmare, Arizona. There's like witches and werewolves and all these cool paranormal monsters. It's perfect for this time of year. I loved the first book, and the author reached out to me after seeing my review and offered to send me some of the books, which was so kind, and I'm so excited to read more of these. I mean, just look at these covers are so pretty. Absolutely love it. So there's a lot of found family themes in this series. The mysteries are really fun, and look at this little gremlin keychain, which is so cute. But let's get these other ones open. Okay, I'm really bad at opening these apparently, but let's see what we have in here. Ooh, a book 3. Okay, so this is Slaying at the Saloon. I love it. It just absolutely gives me, I know I mentioned this in my other video, but like Scooby Doo Minor 49er, like the ghost town vibes, I just love. Here we go. And this one is book 4. It's Murder at the Motel. How pretty is this? I love the little cute gremlin on this. Thank you so much to the author for sending these to me. I'm so incredibly excited. And I love the covers for these. I loved book 1. I'm so excited to continue this series. It's the perfect time of year, and look how precious this is. I love this. I think I'm gonna go pin this on my bulletin board right now. I just love the little cute gremlin. How fun is that? But there's actually some beautiful, like, look at this postcard. Greetings from Nightmare, Arizona. And it's a Wild West town. Look how cute this is. I love postcards. And then she sent this amazing note, which was so, so kind. I love how she signs it Eternally Yours for the paranormal aspect. How pretty. And then there is this fun sticker, which I love. I'll definitely use that in my reading journal somewhere. This is so fun with the colors and the scarecrow. So excited. And then look what she signed here. It says, Amy, watch out for those murder plates. Beth Dobner. This is the second book in the series. I'm very intrigued. Color me intrigued. And then there's notes in each of them, so I don't know if I want to look at those yet, in case it's a spoiler for anything, but thank you again to the author. So excited to read these. I definitely recommend them. I loved book 1. It was so much fun. So, I read this book in one sitting. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. That is The Plot in the Pendulum by Jen McKinley. This is the most fantastic, like, Halloween autumn cozy. It's not... It has Halloween mentions, but it's definitely a very autumn cozy, so I feel like you could still read this in November and really get a lot out of it. There were so many incredible scenes in this. So basically, the library has this amazing opportunity to have these amazing books donated from this huge, very like vintage library collection. So there's all these very valuable books. So Lindsay and the Crafternoon Gals and some of the other characters in this, you know, cozy mystery series go to this big manor to start going through the books, and there's a lot of kooky things going on. There's like this very haunting feeling, and creepy things are happening. There's a cat. It's just very, very fun, and of course a body is found on the premise of the manor. I won't give away how, but let me just say this. This book made me feel very claustrophobic at times. I was definitely like, okay. Was not having a, it was like getting me sweat. I was just like, I was sitting there reading and I was starting to sweat, like nervous sweat, because some of the descriptions I was like, get me out of here. But yes, so this was a fantastic read, 5 stars. I honestly only got up once just to go like get some water. I read this all in one sitting, which is pretty rare, and I had so much fun with this. The ending, I called part of it, but then another part of it completely blindsided me, and it was just the most dramatic reveal and just so engaging, and I was just sitting there and I was like fuming at like the who behind everything, and it was just so good. Like Jen McKinley, she's such a good writer, and this is my favorite series from her personally, even though I started with the Cupcake Bakery mystery series, which I will always read and love. It's just one that is very sentimental to me and I really enjoy, but this one is my favorite from her Library Lovers mystery series. It's so good. I would really recommend this. Otherwise, I haven't made any progress on this one. I kind of picked up this book, and then I've been mood reading some Halloween cozies on the side of this vlog, so I've kind of fallen behind on where I was trying to be, but I am still very excited. I was really enjoying this, so I'm excited to dive back in to this. I do have some updates on these though. So I haven't started the Jasmine Moon Murder. I'm very excited to with the graveyard crawl through the cemetery. I think that's going to be really great and atmospheric for this time of year. But I am going to officially put this back in my TBR cart. I have not done this yet with my bingo TBR. I've really tried to stick to my TBR even though I am a mood reader and I just give myself variety, and that's worked well so far. But I'm just really not interested in reading this right now, and it's not because I'm not interested in reading it at all. I'm just not in the mood. Like right now, all I want is like fall and spooky vibes, and this doesn't have that. So I am gonna put this back. If for some reason in the future I pick this up and I just can't get into it quickly, or I pick it up for a bingo TBR and I don't want to read it during the vlog again, I'll probably just end up passing it on. But right now I think it's just really a seasonality thing for me. I'm just really in the mood for like fall and like Halloween and stuff. So I'm just gonna put this back. So it's gonna be a 6-book vlog, but I'm gonna put this one back for now. But otherwise I am going to very quickly start the Jasmine Moon Murder in the near future, and then Can't Spell Trees Without Tea. I'm going to continue tonight. I'm very excited. Both of these, I mean, this is my first time reading this author, but it's been so cozy and heartwarming in the tea descriptions and the fantasy land. So I'm really excited. So I will give you guys some updates on those soon, but that is where we're at with this reading vlog. Hi guys, so final wrap up for this vlog, and it's a so-so wrap up. So surprisingly, I actually DNF'd Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne. I can't believe these words are going to come out of my mouth right now, but I think this is actually too cozy and slow-paced for me, which is saying something because going into a cozy fantasy, I really, you know, I was expecting a very slow-paced kind of thing, very cozy. I've read Legends and Lattes and the prequel in that series, really loved them. But I think the difference was, I think that book series, the books were shorter. This one is this one is nearly 350 pages, and I feel like there's more text per page. It just feels very dense, and I'm sluggish. I'm so sluggish through this, and I just don't want to read it anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on. If you are someone who really loves cozy fantasy, I think my other thing with this is this was very romance heavy. There was a little bit of romance in Legends and Lattes, but this one was very focused on romance, whereas Legends and Lattes felt like the main character was focused on internal growth above all else and like kind of her cozy goals. This one just felt like very, very romance heavy, which isn't a bad thing depending on what you're looking for, but for me, I'm not a big romance reader, so I feel like if you're someone who wants a cozy romance in a fantasy world, you might love this, but it just wasn't for me. And then I finished the Jasmine Moon Murder. The ending for this. Oh, I guessed it. I put it together. I was very, very happy, but man, was it like edge of my seats. It was so good. The Tea Shop series just continually gets better. Every time I read another book, I'm just like, wow, I love this. It's so good. I love all the art and history details in this. I love learning about Charleston. I've never been. I would love to go. I loved the cemetery setting for a lot of this. That was super interesting. Very much a great one for like the fall season, and I just loved this. I mean, this cover, come on. So that is the wrap up for this vlog. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you've been reading. I would love to hear what you've been reading or cooking or, you know, experimenting with. Let me know what coziness you have been up to, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do post new videos every week on my channel, especially within the cozy bookish realm and like mystery realm. So if you like anything from cozy mystery to thriller, anything with a mystery, I talk about it here. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!